What is a great inclusion story you often tell on the road? Whether you know it or not, the stories from Zeeland Christian School travel all over the country. You are famous, and you probably don't know it. Here is one that you need to know. You can read more in this book, I Choose Adam, by Dr. David Winstrom. Adam was born 30 plus years ago. He was born in a time when a child with Down syndrome wasn't always that treasured birth that people were expecting. And the doctor made that clear to the parents. After Adam was born, he came to the parents and said, you know, I think you would be better without it. It will only mess up your life. It will never have friends, and I will gladly find a place for it. You just leave and forget this ever happened. Move on with your lives. Well, thankfully, the dad, David, was able to turn to the doctor and said, no, I don't think so. That is our son, Adam, and we are taking him home. As for you, I don't want you anywhere near him ever again. But they did find out that that doctor's attitude was not unique. They took Adam home and found difficulty finding places. Everybody wanted to send Adam away to a special school, a special room, a special this, with others of his kind there. But his parents, David and Jetta, felt very strongly that they wanted Adam in a community of people of all abilities, where Adam could learn, but he could also teach people some other things. So after frustrating experiences and being turned away from so many places, Adam's dad went on a drive, and he was deciding to have a talk with God. He didn't often do this, but he did on this day. And he happened to say many things to God, including like, what are you thinking? We just need this place. After an hour of driving and pouring out his heart, he looked up, and he happened to be parked on 334 West Central Avenue, right in front of Zeeland Christian School. He thought, really? Seriously? I don't live in Zeeland. But he walked in the door, asked if he could speak to somebody in charge, and they sent him into the administrator's office at that time, who was Bill Van Dyke. Bill heard his story, and after about maybe an hour of hearing all of these circumstances, Bill looked at him and said, of course, Adam would be welcome here. We would treasure that. He has things to learn, but he also has things to teach people in our community. So that launched Adam's life at Zeeland Christian. He started as a 5th grader, and Adam came with personality plus. He might not have mastered all of the things you do at Zeeland Christian School. In fact, he knew some words that many of our students just simply didn't know, and he was willing to use them too. I'll never forget that Grandparents' Day where he was getting a little bit frustrated, and in the middle of that class came out with the F-bomb with the room filled with grandparents. But the beauty of inclusion kicked in, because the kids quickly turned to their grandparents and said, you know, that happens when Adam gets frustrated. It's okay. He'll take a walk and he'll feel a lot better then. We moved on, and so did Adam. Adam went on to Holland Christian High School, and because of his size and energy, Adam joined the football team. And he had an amazing set of friends in that football team. In fact, I'm not sure if you're aware, but that football team happened to have a most excellent quarterback in charge that year. Adam and this quarterback got to be very close. When I'm speaking on the road, they have no clue I'm talking about Kirk Cousins, but I'm guessing most of you would imagine that's who it was. Adam and Kirk got close enough that when Kirk went off to Michigan State, they would text each other after all the games, and despite Kirk getting yelled at every once in a while by other people for messing with plays, Adam was always the encourager. Head up, good job, you got it. He was amazing. And when Kirk went on to work in the NFL as a quarterback, Adam was right there beside him, once again, sometimes being the lone voice for Kirk to say, good job, head up, next time, you got this. In fact, they treasured their talks at the end of every game. Well, it just so happened Adam continued with relationships at Holland Christian, Hope College. He was part of the Zeeland Christian community and the Zeeland community through being part of Compassionate Heart Ministries as well. And so Adam would walk up and down the streets. He owned a home in this area. He was very much involved and part of the community Adam belonged. You know, it was really difficult when we heard that Adam had been diagnosed with cancer at the age of 30. Adam, still very vibrant and wanting to serve and be part of community and encourage others, Adam was getting very, very sick. His father knew, his mother had passed away a few years ago. His father knew that there would need to be a memorial service where we could invite Adam's friends. There would be one at church too, but this would be a memorial service for friends of varied abilities. And he called me and said, "Barb, would you lead that memorial service?" And I said, "No." First of all, I didn't want to think about Adam passing away. We were good friends with their family too. But also, I'm not a pastor. But he kept asking, and I finally said, okay, it's not going to happen for a long time, right? But it did. It happened over a Christmas vacation a few years ago. And Dad called me and said it's time to plan that memorial service. So we planned it in a way that was differentiated for you educators. We wanted as much involvement and access points per people as we could have. We thought maybe there would be 100 folks that would come. We were wise enough in getting a church. And sure enough, I suppose I wanted that doctor to be present because there were at least 500 people who attended Adam's memorial service. I wanted him to see that if they had made a different decision with Adam at birth, his life would have been very different, and the lives of those 500 plus people would have been very different. You see, those individuals had Adam's fingerprints all over them. That microphone went to several participants, including this amazing quarterback named Kirk Cousins, and everyone who took that microphone would say and give testimony to the way Adam served and helped them. Not one person mentioned that Adam had Down syndrome and autism. That wasn't even part of the memorial service, but it was all about his gifts and having grown because they had been in relationship with Adam. God allowed me to keep my tears inside until I got to the car, and then I realized it. Since 1989 and all of those classes of inclusive education and all those people, and I thought, God allowed me to see as I stood up in front of that group of people, one of the beauties of inclusive education. It's not about the person with a disability. Yes, it was for Adam, but his presence in the community, it was for everyone. Adam changed our lives, and there were 500 people to witness to that on that day.